I know the feeling. The traditional job market can feel incredibly tough, especially when you're just starting out. And it's not just a feeling. Statistics actually back this up. According to Al Jazeera, Indonesia alone is struggling to get jobs for its 44 million youths, with around 16% of those aged 15 to 24 out of work. Now in this video, I'll show you step by step on how to get a remote job with no experience for young beginners. Many young people are seeking stability, but quality jobs are scarce, leading them to informal sectors or prolonged job searches. So I'll cover everything you need to know on how you can find your remote job successfully. So before we actually goes to the how-tos, which I'm guessing every one of you is eager to find out, I'll actually need to explain what remote job is. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is a remote job? A remote job is a job you do from anywhere outside your traditional office. This could be from your home, your co-working space, your nearby cafe, or even in another country. And just like me recording this video, I'm actually recording at the 16th floor of another apartment. The key that I want to explain is that you are not tied specifically in one location where you have to drive back and forth by train, by bus, or even by your local transportation. And remote jobs are possible in today's era due to the wide internet connections that we have, allowing us to collaborate, manage, and also communicate with other people around the world despite where you are currently living. It's about getting the work done and not about where you do it from. So this video is especially made for beginners who's looking for remote jobs and they don't even have a clue where to search from. You might be thinking, all of this sounds great, but here I am looking at the experience. This is actually the part where I'm going to apply a scientific, methodical approach on how you can find a remote job. Think of yourself as a scientist experimenting to get results. So now this is the part that you're waiting for, and it's actually how to find a remote job. The first one is define your hypothesis, which is targeting jobs and skills. Before we start, I actually want you to grab the closest thing next to you so that you can write in a piece of paper. Now I want you to actually write 3 things that you're particularly good at or something that you're interested in. It could be communication skills. You could be good at drawing or even scrolling to TikToks and also Instagram. Perhaps you're the go-to person when your friend is asking for activities or where to go for a summer holiday. It could be anything. And I want you to keep that note. When you have those 3 things written up, that could be translated to which career you're going to apply to for a remote job position. Don't just apply to everything. Based on your interest or any existing skills you might have, even if it's not a professional job experience, I want you to identify 2 to 3 entry remote jobs position that you can apply for. And this could be a virtual assistant since you're good at managing your time. It could be a customer service or even a data entry since you're good with numbers or organizing data in a way that looks presentable. And this is where the hypothesis comes. If I focus on X type of jobs, I will have a higher success chance of landing that job. So again, back to the basics, those 3 things, I want you to actually focus on a 3 entry type of remote job positions to apply for this year. Now I want you to move on to the second step. And this is a research and where you need to gather your data. And this will mean going to job boards and also company research. And I will guide you to the step-by-step on how you can actually find what you need to find and how to apply that job. And the first one is identifying your variables. And this is like if I'm applying for a virtual assistant remote job, what are the specific requirements that companies are actually looking for? Are they looking for individuals with some kind of experience in a certain set of tools? For example, it could be Google Sheet, it could be Slack, it could be using Calendly or certain apps that they actually require you to find. And what company cultures are they looking for? So you'll actually find this research on company website. And don't just look for aggregators. I actually want you to go to their specific website. You can type in virtual assistant remote jobs in 2025 in Google, and you'll find lots of aggregators there. But you'll actually find the specific job posting from a certain company, and I actually want you to write that company and if they're still actually offering you that kind of job. And if that job has expired or the listing is no longer there, and you can actually go to their career pages and look up for remote jobs. There should be tons and tons of other remote job positions that they're actually hiring. And the second one is LinkedIn. People overlook LinkedIn for remote jobs, but I honestly feel that LinkedIn was my best chance of landing a remote job just because of how simple it was. So when you go to LinkedIn, I actually want you to go to the advanced filters for remote and just type in entry level. And I basically did that, and now I'm working remotely for a YouTuber. So all of these are experiments and test results. And up to this point of this step, this is actually experimenting where to actually send your application. But I want you to keep in mind, don't just send generic application, because if you do that, you'll probably get overlooked at. Because the key point here is, I actually want you to absorb each job description. Carefully read each job description and look for certain power words, requirements that they're looking for in an individual. What keywords are they using? Keywords such as high school graduates that does not even need a university degree, or available at certain specific time zone. And what skills they could be emphasizing. They might say they're looking for a candidate with experience in Notion, or even Asana, or even Trello. So these are the specific type of words that I actually want you to look at. And the fourth step that I actually want you to do is formulate your experiment. Just as how I'm making these YouTube videos, I'm experimenting with a lot of video title ideas. So should you. Make your resume and cover letter for each application. And I know this is a long process, and a lot of beginners actually avoid making this because they are too lazy. But imagine this, if you're trying to find a girl of your dreams and you actually saw her walking down the street and you're already friends with her for quite some times, you would already know what she's looking for in a type of person, what she wants from her man, and those are criteria and requirements. And you would show up towards her birthday party or even towards a date knowing that she would like it if I wear this tonight. So it's the same thing as your resume and also your cover letter. Don't just send generic application. Remember when I said to observe? I actually want you to look at the specific requirements. So if you know how to use Notion, write it down in your CV or even your portfolio, showcasing the works that you've done so far. But hey, even though you have no experience at Notion at all, this is a good chance for you to learn some type of skills. And I will actually discuss that throughout the video. And the last step is actually control your variables. Remember the example where I showcase a girl that you actually like, or you're a girl watching this, going for a date with your ideal person or with your ideal man. And controlling your variables means showing up with what they might like and what they need for a specific partner. So it's the same thing with the job position. You're actually applying towards that gap or criteria that they're looking for in a candidate. Make sure your application directly addresses their needs rather than just listing your general qualifications. So if you guys actually click on the link down below, it will direct you to LinkedIn. Many of you guys know LinkedIn. I'm just going to show you how easy it is to actually find remote jobs on LinkedIn. Even if you're a beginner and this is your first time actually looking for jobs. All right, so we're in the job home section. Just click on jobs, and all right, for the country, you can just directly type as remote and it will instantly find, remote jobs around the area. And as I'm located right now in Indonesia, it's giving me lots of remote jobs. And remote jobs, there's actually two sections on this, which is on-site, hybrid. So on-site is actually the traditional 9-to-5 jobs that you have to go to an office and actually work there. Hybrid is, again, as the word hybrid highlights, that sometimes they might require you to actually go to an office, but on most days you're actually staying at home. It could be vice versa. But remote here, on the other hand, is 100% you're working from anywhere in the world. It can be your home, a nearby cafe, and even in Bali. You might not know, but here I'm just scrolling through lots of different job searches, and since this is my LinkedIn, it's specifically categorized to look at the job that I'm actually interested in, and it's directly offering me assistant project manager, work from home, and this is for an APAC, and they specifically mentioned that it's remote. And again, when you're doing your research, like I'm saying, I need you to actually find the specific keywords here. So again, they're probably going to tell about who's building persona, what we're looking for. This is actually very crucial. So it's saying assistant project managers to help our client operate and scale different parts of their growing businesses, which is a project manager. So as an assistant project manager, you'll be a general problem solver collaborating with different teams at our client company. And I'm actually going to talk about general problem solver collaboration at the end of the video, which is actually a soft skills that you need to have. But the responsibility, which is the job description, is business to business communication, client and vendor management, data collection analysis, and and so on. So this is what you'll actually need to apply and put this in your CV or in your portfolio. So you're fully fluent in English, skilled in the use of apps and technology. It's kind of vague here, but then again, apps and technology. Okay, ability to commit long-term and full-time. So if you're someone with no experience, this might not be the job for you, but you can actually put in the organization that you've actually volunteered yourself to be in. And ability to work US business hours, Pacific time, Central time, or Eastern time. So again, their specific criteria is ability to work in the US business hour. So if you're in the Southeast Asia, that means staying up late from 12 a.m. to even probably 6 a.m. in the morning, and your sleeping schedule might not be the same for your local co-workers or your friends. So no work experience is required. Like I said, this job is asking for a candidate that has no experience prior to working, but we will take any work experience you have into this account. And I will actually explain this in more details throughout the end of the video. And this position is for serious career-oriented candidates. So what can I sum up from this? They're actually looking for someone who's fluent in English, that can adjust to their US Pacific time zone, and they're actually looking for quite a serious candidate that does not jump off tracks after 3 months or after 4 months, and they know certain keys of apps and technology, but they're kind of vague about this. And I'm just showing you how easy it is to find a job without no experience needed. And what they're actually offering is best salary in the industry. They're still quite vague about this. And the more you actually pass their round test assessment, you'll get to find in a closer look at how much they're actually paying. And if you want a particular part of video where I go over which entry-level job position pays the highest, let me know in the comments down below. But I'm going to actually walk you through at the average salary for a remote job, even if you've never worked before. So they're actually including the health insurance and unlimited paid time off and annual bonus based on performance. So this is just me showing you guys how easy it is to find a job in LinkedIn. And actually had a lot of success stories from my friends, including myself, on how I actually find a remote job. So if I go to We Work Remotely is actually another platform that I recommend to my friends and family. And if you're actually finding a job called video editor, right? The job categories, I'll just leave it blank and quickly apply the filters just to give you guys an insight on how to find a job in We Work Remotely. This is just at the back of my mind, a video editor, and I think it's only one job. I don't think this is for beginners, but again, they directly mentioned $3,000 per month, full-time remote, and this is in Dubai time. So at the previous one on LinkedIn, it's following a US Pacific time, but right now it's a Dubai time. This is the job description that you're going to be doing. They've actually made the text in bold. So AI, VEO, 3 direct response ads, Meta, TikTok, YouTube, and also AI generated visuals, B-roll, UGC overlays, stock footage, captions, music, and sound effects. Those are actually the type of stuff that you're going to write in your CV. They're actually looking for a 2+ years of editing experience, and this might not be it for you, but you kind of get an image of what jobs are actually looking for video editing and what skill set that you need to take to actually land that job position. So this is basically an overview of what I want you guys to do when you're researching for remote jobs. I want you to actually look for that certain specific keywords that they include in their job post. So based on that, you need to filter that and actually put that in your CV, put that in your resume, and put that in your cover letter that you're experienced or you're currently learning and have this kind of result. So let's move on. So all of this step that I've actually mentioned to you is actually a systematic approach to help you increase your chances in actually landing a remote job. I don't want you guys to actually throw a bunch of tons of job applications out there without actually seeing what a client actually needs from you. So I want you guys to actually list down all of the entry-level jobs that you guys are interested and look for that specific keywords that they want from a candidate. If you don't have it yet, that means you need to train or actually research any type of course that can give you a certification. So you actually know where you're at right now. It's not about just throwing darts everywhere and trying to find a job that would actually hire you, but it's actually looking for the right jobs for you. And right now I want to move on and talk about the average salary for remote job position with no experience, and this is coming from a 2025 data. Okay, so let's talk about money. because that's a huge motivator for all of you, yes? Well, salaries can vary from different margins depending on where you're applying or what jobs you're applying, and even the geographic locations that you're applying. So if you're applying for US, it might be even different from when you're applying to Dubai companies. And I actually gathered this data from actually the top to the bottom ranking, just give you guys a general idea of the average salary for each job position. Based on current trends and data from platforms like ZipRecruiter for entry-level remote jobs in the United States, it says here, which often sets a benchmark for global remote pay, you can expect an average annual salary of around 59,000 US dollars as of July 25. This translates to roughly 4,900 per month or $28 per hour. Now, for roles specifically requiring no experience at all, the average can be a bit lower, closer to 44,000 USD annually or around $3,000 per month. While these numbers are US centric, they can actually be a life-changing towards most workers in Southeast Asia or any developing Asian countries like India, Bangladesh, or even Pakistan. The amount of $2,000, $3,000, or even $4,000 per month, that could be such a huge salary for you guys to actually invest in yourself to grow further in your career. And even if a company offering less than these averages, a remote job, say paying $1,500 to actually $2,000, can actually mean a lot for someone without any experience at all. And I know how much big numbers attract you the most, but I actually want you to focus on the financial impact and also the value it can give to yourself, your friends, and also your family. The next step, I'm going to talk about the best platforms to grow your skills because you don't have any experience at all. And this is a free platforms that can actually give you qualification and actually increase your chances of finding that remote jobs. So why do you need certification, right? Certification means that you've actually invested your time and proven your dedication, and it also makes you stand out from the rest of the applicants. And here are some excellent platforms that I would actually recommend, and most of them are free, but some of them have some paid plans that will not cost you more than $10 or $15, I suppose. And the first one is actually Google Grow. They offer fantastic free certifications in digital marketing and e-commerce, data analytics, IT support, project management, and cybersecurity. And this certification is highly recognized globally. So even if you're applying for US jobs, Dubai jobs, or even any other geographic location, this certification from Google Grow will actually be a viable asset for you in the future. And the second one is HubSpot Academy. They have free certifications in inbound marketing, content marketing, email marketing, sales, and many more. And this HubSpot Academy, I would probably recommend for anyone interested in the digital marketing space or sales roles. The third one is Coursera. And in Coursera, you can actually find free top universities, company courses, including Google Career Certification, are actually available here. You can actually apply for their financial aid to take courses for free if you can't afford them. And I would recommend this for someone looking into data analytics, UX design, IT support, project management, and a whole lot of other things that is not in top of my mind right now. And the fourth one is actually, I'm going to go fast with this, is EDX and LinkedIn Learning. They're similar to Coursera. They're offering courses from university worldwide in EDX, and LinkedIn Learning is actually a free platform for you guys to experiment with. They offer like a vast library of courses that you can find there that is available for a candidate without no experience needed trying to find that entry-level position. And then we have freecodecamp.org and also Great Learning. Those are just some of the highly notable platforms certification that I actually want to drop out in there. You can actually search up yourself, but I'm not going to go in that detail for too long. And a pro tip before we move on to the next step is I actually want to say that this certification is useful for you to actually invest in if you're starting to look for a job and you have no experience at all. While you're actually applying for those jobs, use your other spare time to actually invest in this certification. Who knows that if you're actually spending 3 months or 6 months doing something, you'll eventually land your dream remote jobs. So now moving on to the next step, and this is how to create a portfolio for remote workers without any experience at all. Even without no direct work experience, you can actually create your portfolio that showcases your capabilities. And this is critical for employees to see what you can actually do, not what you say you can do, but at the end of the day, you can't really do that, right? And you don't want that impression or negative impression set upon you on the first day of your job. And I'm actually going to recommend you some free tools for you to make your portfolio, and these are free tools. So I'm taking no commission out of this, and some, they're actually very cheap for you to start and try out. So if you're actually an individual trying to build your portfolio and you don't have any work experience whatsoever, these are the list of pointers that I actually want you to follow to put down in your CV, beside the criteria that the job post is actually looking for, and you may not have that at all. First and foremost is actually academic projects. So ask yourself, did you do a group presentation when you're actually in college or in university taking classes? Even if it's for school, even if it's for volunteering work, you actually can put this down. And speaking about volunteer work, is any role where you organize events, manage communications, or also handle data, this could actually be put into your portfolio. And you might look into personal projects that you're currently handling. If nobody actually want to hire you, and that's actually a bad news, you can actually start posting something in social media on a particular set of skill that you're interested in. So remember when I told you to grab a piece of paper and to actually write down what you're interested in? Let's say that you like scrolling to TikToks and social media. Perhaps at the back of your mind, you actually want to start posting social media and you want to be a social media specialist. I'm just guessing. Yeah, you can actually start posting what you actually like. For example, if you're into golfing, you can put out a bunch of golf tutorials and create that post in Canva if you don't actually want to show your face. So these are the little step and the little effort that you can actually showcase in your portfolio if you're actually working for yourself. And this is called personal projects. So if you're unemployed or fresh out of college without any job experience, these are the steps that I actually want you guys to follow, because time is your greatest friend and it's also your greatest strength, right? People in the traditional 9-to-5 jobs or any remote job position, they're probably waking up and they're working from, let's say, 7 to 3 for traditional jobs or 9 to 5. And for remote workers, they can actually set and schedule what time they will actually like to work on. But you, my friend, have a lot of strength, which is time. You can take this time, create something out of yourself, whether it be creating a personal or mock projects, and you can actually start applying for courses to get certifications and actually making your portfolio. Because guess what? Most of the people that are actually in job right now, they don't have the time to update their personal portfolio or even the time to update their CV or even LinkedIn page. But you have that at hand. And choose your platform of making this portfolio. It could be in Google Sites, Canva, Behance, Fueler, Card.io, or even Notion. And these are the types of platform that I would actually recommend for someone who's just starting out, as they're actually free. The last thing I want from you is to actually spend tons of money and getting no jobs at all. So for Google Sites, they're absolutely free. They're incredibly easy to drag and drop. You can create a simple, clean website to showcase your work and add links to your documents like Google Docs or Sheets, and even embed videos or presentations. Canva, they have the pro plan, but I actually want you to use the free plan. While they're known for their graphic design, Canva actually offers free template portfolios, and I want you guys to actually choose the free one instead of the pro one, because they're not so much different at all. You can design stunning visuals, resume, or even single page portfolios with links to your work. And Behance is quite not so beginner friendly, but I actually want to recommend this towards all the graphic designers out there. And they're excellent for visual creators, right? Like designers, illustrators, or photographers, but can also be used for writers or social media specialists if you actually want to display creative content. And Fueler, on the other hand, is actually a newer platform that I actually found on Google. And it's actually a platform specifically designed for freelancers to showcase their work samples and case studies. And this is actually a free platform also. And I've stumbled upon a YouTuber that actually recommend on card.co. It's CARRD.co. And this is useful for creating sample and one website pages quickly. This is great for basics or even online presence, linking to your resume, and also relevant projects. This can cost, which is $9 a year, but still again, it's below $10. This is very extremely affordable, and I'm probably guessing every one of you has $1 to spend a month, right? And you might know of the powerful platform called Notion. People use this for their project management, but it can also be used as a portfolio. I've started actually experimenting on Notion, and I'm creating my updated portfolio on Notion itself. This is a powerful workspace tool that can be used to build a flexible multi-page portfolio. You can embed documents, links, and organize your project beautifully. If you guys haven't used of Notion, there's tons of tutorials on YouTube to actually show you how to use Notion. And who knows, maybe I'll create one myself even. And what should you include in your portfolio, right? And these are 5 crucial steps that I actually want you to input in your portfolio. The first one is actually your project title and description, clearly explaining what your project role was and actually the goal. The second one is your contributions. Be specific about your actions and also your responsibilities. The third one is actually tools used. If you have used any application or technologies in the past, you can actually put that down in your CV. And results, even if it's for a group project, your personal project, or even mock projects, I want you guys to actually put it in there and what was the intended outcome. For example, I have achieved certain number of percentage in engagement rate if you're a social media specialist, and link to the work. Like I said, even though you have lots of experience, I actually want you to curate that to the requirements they're actually looking for. And remember this, your portfolio isn't a bunch of files that you put in there. It's not a book of dictionary of your life historical moments. It's a story about your potential. Make it easy for the recruiters to actually see what you can offer to them. As we're moving on towards the end of this video, and I actually want to say thank you for you guys to actually sticking step by step for way too long. I know how you guys are serious to find remote jobs, and I want to actually share tips for you to find remote jobs that actually meets your needs and criteria. And the first one is to curate everything. And I've mentioned from time to time again that finding remote jobs is not just putting a list of what you can do, but actually customizing it in a way that what the employers are looking for. So this is point number 1. The second one is highly transferable skills. Even if you have no prior job experience in the past, those exercises that we did in the beginning of this video translate into many things. It's a standpoint to actually see what you're good at. So were you organized in university perhaps? That could be translated into project management. And did you help your friends in their social media posts? And that could be translated into digital marketing. So the second point is to highlight transferable skills. The third point is your online presence, which is optimize your LinkedIn profile. This is very, very important. Just to showcase, if you're going on a holiday at a certain location, you would post that on Instagram. I want you to actually post your success, whether it be taking a course and you've actually passed level 1, level 2, or actually gained that certification. I actually want you guys to post that on LinkedIn, because guess what? Even if you're so highly educated, even if you're so highly trained, without having networks towards billions of people in the world can actually find you a remote job faster. This brings me to the fourth step, which is networking online in a professional manner. So you've graduated from university or you've had some mutuals on LinkedIn, you can actually message them. Just drop in and say, hey, how's it going? I saw that you're working on a specific job, working for this company. And just ask, how's it like working there? You know, building this relationship will actually increase your chances of landing a remote job, because who knows, chances are they're looking for someone and you might be the right fit for them. And the fifth one is practice interview skills. When I first hired for a remote job position, a lot of job was actually asking for a video test assessment to see if you're actually fluent in English. And a lot of people write in their CV that, hey, they're fluent in English on paper, but when they're actually talking to them, they're probably thinking 1 or 2 seconds on what to say out next. Practice looking at the camera, being comfortable talking towards the camera just as like you're talking to a friend or family members. Record yourself before doing the real test assessment just to get a feeling and also being comfortable in front of camera. And the last final step is be persistent and also patience. Like I said, this is not a sprint where you need to find a job directly. The world is still going to run without you having no jobs at all. And the first remote jobs can take time. I know that a lot of Southeastern culture or even Asian family culture have this social pressure of you need to find a job or I'm going to kick you out of the house. But this thing takes patience, you know. Always invest in yourself, believe in yourself, even if no one's actually believing in you. Don't get discouraged by rejections, but actually take that rejections as something that you can actually learn from. You know, towards the end of the interview, if they actually say, hey, you're not the right fit, you can email them back and say, hey, what can I actually improve on to land a job at your company better? You know, what did the other candidate have that I don't have? You know, no hard feelings, just asking them professionally. So now that I've actually broken down technical skills step by step on how to get a remote job, how you need certification, you know, applying and the tips, you know, those are technical stuff. But I actually want to bring this video to a much more light-hearted tone of pace. And this is the importance of soft skills when than landing your first remote jobs. People tend to overlook these things, but this is actually crucial if person A or persons B have the same set of particular skills, but as the recruiter, they would actually pick the person that have the best soft skills, and that will determine landing a remote job or actually getting rejected from the job that you've actually wanted. And the first one is exceptional communication. A lot of people say they are fluent in English, like I mentioned before. They're good at conversing, but when you're talking to them, it feels awkward for you. So don't actually write these things down in your CV if you're actually an introvert, and it's okay to do so. And you'll be communicating not just through a video call, but you'll be communicating through email, Slack, and there's a lot of tools that actually help you out like ChatGPT. But how do you feel if you're communicating like this? Are you being yourself? And those are the soft skills that I actually want you to bear in mind. And the second one is self-discipline and proactiveness. One of the things that I've learned in remote job working position is that people expect them to train the person. It's quite hard if you're not working in an office. Nowadays, there's tons of guides on YouTube, in Google, and you can just search them to actually find how to do things. And this is what it means to be proactive. Don't just sit here and wait for them to tell you what to do. Start by offering them on what you can help out with. And if they're actually telling you what you can actually help out with and you don't know how to because you're a young beginner without any experience, you can actually search that in Google or watch a YouTube video. This self-discipline and being proactive is actually what will keep you sustainable in the long run working for a remote company. And the third one is actually adaptability and flexibility. Remote work can change a lot with new AI tools left and right. You need to actually be adaptable for the constant changes in the company. One time they might be implementing a certain key SOP, but in the next month a new software or development tools come up and they actually want to use this. So you need to be adaptable in learning, in continuous learning, and actually growing too. And the next one is problem solving, which is the fourth step. And remote teams actually value individuals who can find a gap in the company to improve themselves. Rather than just waiting for instruction, you're actually elevating the team, whether it be reducing the time of production or actually bringing some innovative, efficient method into the way you do things in the company. So yeah, problem solving is actually a good 4 things for you guys to consider. The fifth one is time management or organization. And no, it's not just for project managers out there. You're actually held accountable because nobody is seeing the work that you do 24/7. You need to schedule your own tasks. You need to schedule your own deadlines. And tools like Trello, Notion, Asana, or even ClickUp can make this easier for you. And the last thing is cultural intelligence. You'll likely be working from people around the world. Maybe it's from America. The next thing, your coworker can be from Australia, New Zealand, or even India. And be respectful, open-minded, and aware of your cultural nuances. While no experience often means entry-level pay, some remote roles actually have a higher potential income, even in beginners, especially if you invest in quick skill acquisition. And based on the 25 data that I've gathered, here are the top entry remote level job position that I actually find with a higher job earnings. The first one is data analyst for an entry level position, whether it be a junior data entry. And companies are hungry for data insights. With certification in data analytics like Google Data Analytics and certificate, you can start analyzing data, creating reports, and actually identifying trends. The potential average for beginners is actually $65,000 to $85,000 annually. The second one is digital marketing specialist. This is broad but in high demand. Roles like social media coordinator, SEO assistant, or content creator actually fall here. Focus on a specific niche on what you like, whether it be crypto, whether it be investing, it be business or dresses or anything that you like. And the potential average for beginners range from $55,000 to $75,000 annually. The third one on the list is Cloud Support Associate, or what we call IT Support Technician. As more businesses move to the cloud, support is actually essential. Certification from AWS or Google Cloud can open up many doors, and the potential average for beginners is ranging from $45,000 to $60,000 annually. Moving on is Sales Development Representative, and sales can be quite tricky for some people. It's often commission-based, and there's no specific salary pinpoint. So your earning can be quite low, but it can actually be really high if you're dedicated to it. Many companies offer training for this job position, so don't worry if you're someone who has a good communication or persuasion skills and actually want to grow and learn more. I expect to earn a potential of $40,000 to $80,000 annually. The last one on the list is web developer. And a lot of web developer that I see is self-taught, or they're actually bootcamp graduates. If you can actually complete a free coding bootcamp like Free Code Camp and build a few simple projects, web development, especially in the front end section, and they have tons of excellent remote opportunities. Expect somewhere around $60,000 US dollars to $80,000 US dollars annually. And remember, these are US average salaries that I found as of right now. Even a fraction of these salaries can be life-changing. And I want to repeat that again. Focus on the financial impact and the value of life-changing experience that you can get from this company. The key here is to get started, keep on growing and building your skills. And the last section that I actually want to go through is the common mistakes that I see a lot of beginners make when they're actually applying for a remote job position. The first one, like I've mentioned time to time again, and I want to explain it in detail, is not customizing your application. And the second one is ignoring instructions. And on the job post, many remote applications have a specific job instructions, and I actually want you guys to look for this specific instruction. It could be answer these 3 questions in your cover letter. So make sure to answer them carefully. Failing to actually comply with this instruction can mean that you're a person with a lack of attention to detail, which is critical for remote roles. Pure communication, which is a typo, spelling mistake, or even incorrect grammar, can cost you a lot. This is a huge red flag for remote workers, especially you said that you were fluent in English, but hey, you can't even write your own CV with the correct grammar. These are red flags that recruiters will actually try to find, and that will cost you a job being wasted, no matter if you have some types of certifications in them. So I want you guys to proofread everything. Use apps like Grammarly or even ChatGPT to double check, or even give it to your peers to see if they can find any mistakes or gaps in your CV. Which leads us to the third point. No portfolio equals to no proof of work. Claiming skills without showing how you've applied to them give recruiters to just believe in you. And without this, a lot of people can actually have a chance to land a remote job. But a lot of mistakes just send their CV, generic application without any portfolio whatsoever. Recruiters want to see the result of your training or investing in certain course. They want to see actually what you were involved in pictures, videos, or any types of format. So these things are actually essential. The next one is to fail for scams. A lot of jobs, in my experience, have offered me jobs that I actually need to pay money. So don't ever trust these jobs at all. And the last one is lack of professionalism. So you've actually passed the first stage. If you're actually ghosting those type of employers because you're actually looking for a higher salary, just tell them that, hey, right now, I don't think our salary quite match as of that rate yet. No need to ghost them, because guess what? The remote job world is quite small, and who knows that recruiter can know another recruiters that you're actually trying to find a job in. So again, your personal branding and how you carry yourself actually matters when you're applying to jobs. So be professional in about everything. And oh yeah, last final tip is giving up too soon. You're probably watching this video with tons of information that I give out, and you won't even write your first CV. You won't even make that portfolio. You're not even finding that time to actually invest in yourself and build something for yourself. You already gave up. So again, be consistent. Everything takes time, even if it's just one step at a time. I want you guys to actually build something as soon as you guys finish that video. Getting your first remote job experience this year is actually quite possible. It takes dedication, strategy, and a willingness to learn. But the rewards, financial independence, flexibility, and a truly global career that is actually worth it. Remember, start by identifying the type of jobs that you actually want for yourself. You can focus on that first and then move on to the skills that you need to acquire. This could mean investing yourself in learning through a course to get that certification, and then building a compelling portfolio to make you stand out. Even if you have no job experience, start highlighting your personal projects that you've worked on with your friend or volunteering in a specific type of organization, and apply with the scientific mindset, learning from every application. And never Never underestimate the power of soft skills. Especially excellent English communication skills are very important to remote job roles. Don't let no experience hold you back. It certainly did not hold me back in everything. Give yourself grace, love that you're doing the right thing and you're actually looking for a remote job that will treat you right. You deserve better, and I know you do. So I want you to give yourself a pat in the back because you're watching this video trying to build something out of yourself. And thank you for all watching the video. This is a complete beginner's guide for young adults trying to land their first remote job successfully this year. And I know you can do it. So thank you. Like and subscribe and comment down below what entry-level jobs are you looking for. This is it from me, and yeah, nothing else more to say, and peace out. Bye-bye.